The boys are back in action this weekend as we edge closer to sealing another Scottish Premiership title. In today's video, we will go over the build-up to that game, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours, which includes a huge Lennon Miller update. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Police Scotland have concluded their investigation into Rangers winger Vaclav Cerny following the controversial Watergate incident during last month's Glasgow derby. Cerny found himself in the spotlight after sprinting down the touchline and spraying water towards Celtic supporters in the main stand while celebrating Hamza Igamani's late winner. The incident sparked a backlash from Celtic fans and led to calls for action from both the SFA and Police Scotland. However, it has now been confirmed that Cerny will face no police action, with authorities concluding their probe and determining that no criminality had taken place. A Police Scotland spokesperson stated that the investigation was complete and the matter would not be taken any further from a legal standpoint, but that they had had a word with Rangers regarding the incident. While Cerny may have avoided legal repercussions, the case remains open with the Scottish FA, who could still sanction the player under their own disciplinary framework. The governing body has previously punished players for conduct deemed to incite opposition fans, and all eyes will now turn to Hampden to see whether Cerny will face further consequences. Brendan Rodgers previously described the winger's actions as crossing a line and stated he wouldn't want to see his own players behaving in that manner. The SFA's decision in the coming days will reveal whether they share the same view. Now for the main story, as Andy Halliday has weighed in on the growing speculation surrounding Lennon Miller's future, casting doubt on a potential move to Celtic this summer. The 18-year-old midfielder is one of the brightest young talents in Scottish football and has been heavily linked with a switch to Parkhead. Celtic were reportedly interested in securing his services during the January window, but Motherwell stood firm. With interest continuing to mount from across Europe, including Serie A, Miller is expected to have several options when the window opens. Halliday, who shares the Fair Park dressing room with Miller, offered an insight into the teenager's mindset and ambition. Speaking on Open Goal, he suggested a move to Celtic might not suit the youngster's development. "I'd be amazed if Lennon done that," Halliday said. "He wants to play every minute, every game, so I think if it was between a Celtic and somebody in the Serie A, I think he would go to the Italian club." It's a telling assessment and one that shows the challenge facing Celtic. While the club has a strong record of developing talent that they bring in, they're also a team where game time isn't guaranteed, especially for a young midfielder looking to build momentum. Celtic's interest in Miller remains, but as Halliday points out, his decision could hinge on more than just the club. Playing time, development pathway, and the right fit will be crucial. And with Europe's elite circling, the battle for Miller's signature is only just beginning. In some other news, in a move that will raise eyebrows across the support, Seltzar here can confirm Celtic are set to unveil a statue of club chairman Peter Lawwell on the Celtic Way, with the structure to take its place alongside existing tributes to brother Walfred, Jock Stein, Jimmy Johnstone and Billy McNeill. The initiative is said to have come directly from majority shareholder Dermot Desmond, who has reportedly pushed for the tribute as a fitting recognition of Lawwell's influence over the club's modern era. Sources close to Desmond suggest he views Lawwell's contribution as critical to Celtic's stability and key in allowing him to maintain a hands-off role across more than 2 decades. Lawwell, who first joined the Celtic boardroom in 2003 and currently serves as chairman after a lengthy spell as CEO, has long been a divisive figure among supporters. From overseeing domestic dominance to being criticised for perceived caution in European ambition and recruitment strategy, the 25-year reign has rarely been short of drama. One club source described the statue project as a celebration of continuity, consistency, and cost control, a tribute already being viewed by many as a curious one. When Seltzer here questioned why Peter Lawwell would be honoured ahead of a Henrik Larsson-type figure, the source replied, "Henrik was all right, but Peter has been the real hero for over 2 decades. He may as well have chipped Stefan Kloss himself." They stopped short of confirming whether the statue would include a spreadsheet or feature a heated plinth beneath it. Plans are in place to have the statue unveiled on the opening day of next season, with discussions ongoing on who will do the honours of unveiling. An early favourite is Dominic McKay. Celtic have yet to officially comment on the development, but preparatory groundworks are expected to begin shortly, coincidentally around the same time as the launch of a new club tie range. In other news, Jorge Sampaoli has distanced himself from Kyogo Furuhashi's move to Rennes, insisting he had no say in the Japanese striker's £10 million transfer from Celtic. The former Rennes boss, who was sacked just days after Kyogo arrived in January, has made it clear that the signing was not his decision and reflects broader issues within the French club's management. Kyogo's time in League One has so far been underwhelming. He's struggled for minutes, clocking just 113 minutes of football since making the move from Parkhead, and is yet to find the back of the net for his new club. Sampaoli didn't hold back when discussing the situation, accusing Rennes' hierarchy of failing to back his vision for the team. The owner of the club is a very important person in France, and frankly, the club was not up to the expectations that I had compared to the market, he said to Record Sport. The sports director decided to make a transfer window that had nothing to do with what we needed. We preferred to cut the bridges. I could not represent a team which I had not chosen the players in the winter transfer window. We even talked about players who have already played with us to change the story more easily, but we were not listened to. Kyogo, who left Celtic in search of game time at a higher level that would see him push for regular inclusion in the Japan national team, may now be questioning the wisdom of the move. While he did earn a call-up shortly after joining Rennes, his lack of minutes and goals raises real concerns about his future at the club, especially now with a new managerial regime that also played no part in bringing the Japanese striker over to France. He could find himself on the move again in the summer if his situation doesn't improve. And lastly, Harry Milne enjoyed a memorable milestone in his career on Saturday, making his long-awaited Hearts debut at none other than Celtic Park. The 28-year-old fullback, who joined from Partick Thistle in January, finally got his first appearance for the Tynecastle side in front of a packed crowd at one of Scotland's most iconic stadiums. Though the match ended in disappointment for the visitors, who were swept aside 3-0 by a clinical Celtic team, it was still a moment Milne will cherish. To play in an atmosphere like that against a team like that was special for me, he told the Celtic Way. I just want more days like that, with better results. I remember when I first started with Cove Rangers in the Highland League, playing in places like Fort William, where a couple of farmers come out to watch you. To go from there to this was a special day for me and my family. My girlfriend managed to make it down, but I had family all over the world watching. My brother Stuart is over in Australia, and my dad, Tim, is going over. They met halfway in Singapore and watched it in an Irish bar. It's just as well they weren't here. It shows the global appeal of clubs like Celtic and Hearts. There's always a bar anywhere in the world that is showing it. It was a bit bittersweet with the result, but you are not always expected to go there and get the 3 points. So it was disappointing, but it doesn't take away too much. The result may have dampened the occasion slightly, but for Milne, it marked the next step in a remarkable footballing journey as he now looks to kick on. Not only was that his first time pulling on a Hearts shirt, it was his debut in the Premiership. He's had a slow rise up the pyramid, but after starring with Chris Doolan's Thistle, he rightfully earned a move. The switch came on deadline day, a couple of weeks before the former striker received his books from the Maryhill club. It's now former Celtic star Mark Wilson in the dugout there, co-managing with Brian Graham, who is the captain, championship top scorer and women's team manager. There isn't a job at that club he can't do. Celtic fans, what are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comment section below. That does bring us to the end of today's video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you.